Hey, Walking Dead fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, we're talking about The Walking Dead. This is issue number 175, otherwise titled as New World Order Part 1. So, this is a highly anticipated story arc. The Walking Dead, I can admit, has been really slow as of late. But when you saw the image on this cover, you're like, damn, shit's about to go down. You got some heavily armored guys. You're like, well, what's going to happen in this story arc? So the book is obviously written by Robert Kirkman. Our artwork is done by Charlie Adlard. And like always, guys, the artwork is absolutely top-notch. There's nothing different here. I can't pick apart any of the artwork here. Everything looks good. Let's just dive right into the issue and let's talk about it. So we wound up seeing our group that was coming from Alexandria to go to this, to meet Stephanie, to see if they can come to a common ground and have their people work with each other or whatnot. So our group winds up running into this Commonwealth soldiers, and there's quite a few soldiers here. It's like a small army, and they pinpoint our, our travelers here, with Michonne and Eugene and Princess and everybody else. And Prince's first reaction, he's like, wow, they got things over their ding-dongs. I was like, what the heck is going on here? It's so funny. So our heavily armored troops wind up taking them to this cargo car from a train or whatnot. And this is like the interviewing process to see if you get into the Commonwealth. And so in this issue, I'm thinking, who's the leader of this? Because every time we got introduced to a new community, we've gotten to see a different type of leader. They all have their personalities. And then, of course, there was Negan. So, when you see heavily armored guards, you're like, oh, who's the leader of this? And then you come across this guy. His name is Lance Hornsby. He's like totally opposite from Negan. He's like a tax accountant or something like that. He's like, okay, guys, I need to sit down because my arches hurt from walking so much. He's like, okay, let me take your names down. Okay. He's like, oh, Eugene, you gotta trust us because we want to be able to trust you. He's like, don't make this difficult. He's like this, to me, he's just some like wimpy guy, and so they do this whole interview process to get into the Commonwealth. And then the whole time, Eugene is sitting there going, where's Stephanie? I talked to Stephanie. Stephanie this, Stephanie that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, shut the hell up or you're going to get a bullet in your head. So after this long, lengthy discussion of what the Commonwealth, getting into the Commonwealth is, he decides to take them all in and to go to the place. So it's a little bit of a journey. They have to take the horses there. They got to go there. They come across a big, gigantic herd and of walkers. And so they go around, the soldiers, take care of the walkers. And then this whole time, this Lance Hornsby guy, he's like sleeping through this. He's like drooling and everything. He's like, oh, whatever. My soldiers got this. And it was just quite interesting to see how they interact with the zombies. So as we get towards the later parts of this issue, we wind up seeing them come across a football field. And Michonne was like, oh, wow, you made this football field into your community. She's like, you built walls around it and everything? He's like, no. He's like, he's like, yeah, we have it for concerts and football games. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah. And they're like, well, how big is your community? And it's over 50,000 people. So you can see, obviously the type of, community that they built and how much of a lengthy process it is for people to get in here. So it's like 50,000 people. This puts Alexandria and Hilltop and everybody else to shame. They're like little villagers. And then they come across this wall. And they called it the Wall of the Lost. And this is pictures of, people that are on this wall of family members who are looking for other family members, people that are lost, people that passed away. And so it was kind of a step back for our heroes in this book, just to see all the humans that have passed away. Because when you're in the midst of action, it's kind of like you don't think about it all the time, or you look at them as just walkers or whatnot. And so what happens is, as they all explore this wall, Michonne has come over and she's like, oh, what is it? And it's a huge spoiler, guys. So, like, you know, don't check this out. Don't look at this part if you haven't read this issue yet. And we wind up finding out that it's Michonne's daughter who has a picture asking where her mom is. And so Michonne starts breaking down and crying and saying, my daughter is in this community? And you're like, damn, that hit hard. I was like, wow, that was really, really good. So that was the issue in depth. So let's talk about this a little bit. I love this new community. I love the aspect of that there can be a more thriving and bigger community than what we found in the past with Hilltop and Alexandria in the Kingdom and everything else. Because this shows you that there's possibly is even a better ruler than Rick or Negan or Ezekiel or Maggie. You know, they've been so set in their ways. And can this Lance Hornsby guy be, you know, the new guy in charge? Because look at Rick right now. He's not exactly healthy. He is mentally broken, and he's been through so much that maybe this might be a good thing for Rick and the group to join this group. Do you think they will? Or is it when Rick and their group if they do join this group, do they poison it like everything else, where bad luck follows them? But this is interesting. And I want to see more of Lance on how his character actually develops here. Because if there's one really good thing that Robert Kirkman does, is he develops his characters. And so it looks like we're going to get introduced to quite a few more characters here, where it comes to maybe Michonne's daughter, Lance, all the other people in this community. I mean, I can only imagine what this world will be like in this book. It's going to be pretty cool for them to have football leagues and concerts and almost make it like real life again. You can explore all kinds of different relationships in this. So it makes the Walking Dead world, you know, relatable again, where it's all been about this zombie apocalypse in this, you know, apocalyptic living. This is more like real life living here when you go to this community. So I'm really anxious to see what's going to happen here. So I really love the direction of this book. Now it's a matter of Rick, will he be stubborn to stick in Alexandria, or will they go there? That's the key thing to see. So we'll see what happens. So guys, in the comments below, tell me what you thought of New World Order part 1 of 6. Were you a fan? Were you not a fan? Where would you like to see the direction of The Walking Dead actually go from here with this new story arc? So guys, leave me all those comments below. I gotta give this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this one. So guys, again, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and fans, until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye.